drills that we can do, which I do not have on tape at this moment, are an alley tackle, in which the ball carrier is going to start coming downhill, and he has a choice to go through various cones that are set up about 4 or 5 yards apart. He's coming downhill. The defender is also going to shuffle in a downhill fashion, taking away the angle, working on staying on his inside number. We'll call this an alley tackle. We're coming inside out. But as the ball carrier makes his commitment, now we're going to try to slide our face across, get our head and hips around, and drive it back. And allow the ball carrier to choose any one of these alleys in which to go through. And it's teaching the defender not to overrun the ball, but to stay inside out of the ball carrier. Coming downhill, he does to cut down the angle in which that ball carrier has to cut back. Give him kind of give him only one way to go, and working them out to where you have help coming from outside in. This is an alley tackle, which is we're coming in an inside-out type of situation. Often occurs for a free safety coming from the middle of the field. But it's it happens for a lot of our players, and we're trying to simulate a game situation of being inside out in the ball, working to get their head across, hips around, and take it back. We'll do an open field tackle drill where we'll use like a five-yard stripes on the sidelines and put the ball carrier between them, tell him he can go anywhere he wants within that 5 yards and trying to score across the sideline. And the defender now has got to get his feet firing, watch the belt buckle of the ball carrier, and get in a good football position, and he's got to slide his feet. It's very important that he slides his feet and doesn't cross over. If he crosses over, he's going to get, the ball carrier goes the opposite direction, he's going to get beat. Now, in this situation where it doesn't have to be a kill shot, it's going to be an open field tackle where we can wrap up and hang on and get some help. In certain situations where we know we've got help coming from one direction or another, we're going to try to utilize that and force the ball carrier only one way to go. But there are some situations where we're going to make an open field tackle. We're all by ourselves now. We've got to break down, focus on the belt buckle, and wrap them up. And we can kind of make this a competitive drill and keep score. The ball carrier gets across. We don't want them going to the ground. We want the ball carrier to stay inbounds between those 5-yard stripes. Emphasis again on shuffling their feet, not lunging, not getting crossed over. I showed you the veer tackle already. Our next drill is a converge tackle, right, where we're trying to teach defensive backs to come from outside in and keep the ball in their inside number and squeeze it to where they got help. And we've got to have 2 defenders going at the same time where there's conversion on a ball carrier. We usually put two defensive backs on a hash mark, put the ball carrier in the middle, and allow him to go anywhere he wants within that on the field. And if he goes down the middle, the defender's both got to squeeze it. If he breaks to the outside, that defender's got to keep him on his inside number and make the tackle. The ball carrier can run anywhere he wants, and it's the idea of converging, not getting beat to the outside, but not letting the running back run right by you down the middle also. And if one defensive back makes a tackle, we'd like the second defensive back to come in and try to strip the ball. Now we got to keep this drill under control. This is a drill that you shouldn't do until you've gone through the other part of the progression, so that they all understand the proper tackling progression. We generally want to keep our tackling drills in a close, confined situation. This is a situation if we're having troubles with the players understanding leverage that they've got to keep in their run support angles. It's another drill that can be utilized, but again, they've got to understand that we're trying to keep people up, and we're trying to avoid people getting hurt. We've got two defenders in this situation, and we're trying to avoid real full speed collisions, but give them the idea of what they've got to do, make an open field tackle, and know where their help is. We'll also work tackling drill from a stalk block, and while we're also working our stalk block progression. And there's a couple different ways in which we'll handle a stalk block. If we've got the ball carrier more than 10 or more yards away from the blocker, we'll tell our defender now that he can rip through and beat that receiver either inside or outside and then get back into position. If the ball carrier is close by, like in this diagram on the right, now we've got to squeeze the receiver into the ball carrier, keeping our appropriate leverage in our run support. Squeeze into the ball, and as the ball carrier commits, then we're going to disengage by bench pressing and separating from the blocker and getting off and making a tackle. On the other one, we may even give, on the one on the diagram on the left, we may even give a juke in one direction and then dip and rip through and drive that arm and make your body small as you rip through, and then get yourself in a good football position again, balanced up, squared up, and in a position to make an open field tackle. So we'll do it some various ways. We'll start off the drill maybe just doing it from the ball carrier far away and letting him rip through it, and then we'll come back and do a drill where the ball carrier is going to be closer by, but give the defender a chance to still make a tackle. Initially, we may do this even without the ball carrier and let them get used to getting off of the stalk blocking, creating separation, using their hands and bench pressing them off. Now I'd like to get into some of our strip drills that we do. In the first drill, we're going to try to hook with our opposite arm and punch the ball out when we're trailing from behind. Come up underneath and punching the ball out right now. So we're going to start, the ball carrier is running, and the guy coming from behind is just going to hook with one arm and punch with the other hand and try to knock the ball out. We'll turn him around, we'll go the opposite direction, punching the ball out. This drill is we're going to hook with one arm over the top and then try to come down with our opposite arm and hack at the ball, try to punch the ball out that way. So we're going to come around and come down the ball and pull the ball away if we don't get it on just the initial punch. And I don't think we have any examples of that, but you get the idea. The drill that we'll do is we're going to, very similar to the last one, we're going to hook, but now we're going to grab the point of the ball and pull it away from the defender, from the ball carrier's body by ripping the point away from his body, causing the ball to come out. Pull and rip. Hook, pull, and rip it away. Hook with the other hand, pull and rip. I'd like to see him hook a little bit better than that. And same thing there. In case they don't get the strip, they can still get the tackle. Coming from behind, pull and rip. Grab the point of the ball as they come through. Put your hand right over the point of the ball and pull it away. He's got a hook as he does that. First strip drill that we'll do is this pull the elbow and punch when you're the second man in, coming in from the front where the ball carrier is pretty tied up. The second man sometimes can grab the elbow where the ball is in, grab that elbow, pull it away from the body, and then punch with his second hand. Again, this is with the second man coming in when the ball carrier is pretty tied up. In a situation where you get in there, quickly work with your hands, pull the elbow, and punch is another form of strip drill. And we'll also do some strips at the end of routes, and I'll show you a tape on how we'll run it.